Zack Snyder is one of the most recognizable directors of his era. Frequently making director's cuts for his works, he is adamant about his visions, even if they were not fully followed by the studio. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. He made, for instance, an overlong director's cut for Justice League, along with other films of his. Being pulled away from Rebel Moon for a while might be a blessing in disguise. While he has made plenty of sci-fi and superhero films, Snyder is truly at his best when he is not trying to go too epic. In many ways, the director got swallowed up by the attempted grandeur of Rebel Moon. As such, Snyder's best movies are films like Dawn of the Dead and Army of the Dead. In comparison to something like Rebel Moon or Justice League, these zombie horror movies are a lot smaller in scope. These films also highlight the best quality of Snyder's work, which is action sequences. Despite his flaws as a director, he has a great eye for good action. Something like a SWAT-based movie will allow him to lean into this side of himself. In the last couple of years, Snyder poured a lot of energy into a franchise that didn't exactly stick the landing. Rebel Moon series was an original sci-fi concept that began in late 2023 with the Netflix movie Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. The film was followed up just a few months later with Part 2. Netflix and Snyder sunk a lot of time and money into these films, which cost over $166 million together. While the movies had high viewership numbers, the bet did not fully pay off for him, as both Rebel Moon movies got poor reviews. Originally slated for at least another movie, Snyder recently revealed that he got sidetracked for making more Rebel Moon movies. This will delay the continuation of the sci-fi franchise due to his commitment to another Netflix movie. This will be an LAPD SWAT movie for Netflix. Full details of this film are not yet available, but it is certain to set Snyder on a better career track. Grounded content is most likely just what Snyder needs to make a great film as his next step. While he could turn things around with Rebel Moon, leaning into this would risk making more overdone sci-fi films. Instead, he can lean into the action sequences that he is superb at, and hopefully make enjoyable films with Brawler and the LAPD movie. Luckily, this is not the only movie that Snyder is making that strays away from the Rebel Moon side of his career. The director is also slated to make the film Brawler, an action sports drama about a UFC champion. While it will still not be free of Snyder's characteristic stylization, the movie will feature more grounded action. Superman has been reminding moviegoers of DC's greatness in theaters. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. The film is closing in on the $500 million mark at the box office and shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Even when you leave the theater, you'll most likely see a ton of Superman merchandise on store shelves, including action figures from McFarlane Toys. Now, despite Zack Snyder's DCU being a relic of the past, McFarlane could be making more figures for the director's infamous DC trilogy. While Snyder's DC trilogy and the wider DCU films like The Flash, Aquaman, and Shazam aren't that beloved, they did get a lot of merchandise over the years. This included physical media releases, Funko Pops, and action figures. Since 2020, the main contributor of the latter has been McFarlane Toys. They've made figures for Wonder Woman 1984, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and Blue Beetle. However, over the last year, the popular toy company has gone back to the early days of the DCU to make new figures for Batman vs. Superman. This wave featured multiple Batman figures, like Nightmare Batman, Wonder Woman, and a two-pack depicting Superman's final battle with Doomsday. This crowdfunding campaign is the first time Snyder's DC Trinity will be depicted in black and white, just like the previously mentioned Justice is Gray cut of his 4-hour-long version of Justice League. McFarlane Toys Store has just unveiled their fourth crowdfunding campaign for their club drawing board. The concept figures include a 20-inch-long Batmobile from Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, parts for the Justice League version of the famous car, Ben Affleck's Batman and the Bat-Signal, and the Justice is Gray, black and white 7-inch scale DC multiverse figures for Batman, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, and Henry Cavill's Superman. The complete package comes with a metal Justice League poster autographed by Todd McFarlane. There will also be 4 different levels, so you can choose how much you want to support this campaign. Zack Snyder's Justice League is getting a new crowdfunding campaign from McFarlane Toys featuring high-detail action figures of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and more in their Snyder Cut designs. Fans can back the campaign to unlock limited edition figures and vehicles like the Batmobile. It's a collector-focused release driven by fan demand, continuing the Snyderverse momentum through exclusive merchandise. James Gunn's Superman and the new DCU will most likely be the main focus for McFarlane going forward. That said, it's still nice to see the company pay homage to DC's past as their future looks as bright as ever. You can contribute to McFarlane's Snyderverse crowdfunding campaign on their website now. However, if you're in the mood for more DC after Superman, you can currently stream Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max. Zack Snyder Justice League isn't irrelevant and for only guys living in their mom's basements. It is and was an achievement beyond the norm. Fans on many platforms overvoiced their opinions, and while WB was going through many changes in higher-up positions and new dirty politics on the board, fans gave DC Studios billion with a B to the company even after they released what is now known as the Justice League movie. WB needed money, not the commitment from fans. So they let Snyder finish the special effects of his true Justice League movie. And lo and behold, money in the bank, ratings and social media went beyond anything they could have hoped for. This movie changed the fandom forever. By not letting Snyder, whom was only a director with a specific vision, speak for itself. Not by bots and fake Rotten Tomatoes scores like the new Superman 25 had gotten. Butting up to the last director for fans of DC would go and pay for the new movie in theaters. Get new merchandise for its release and plenty of ad space to appease the heads so marketing would be praised for their time. Zack Snyder did what no other director has been able to, and that is get released his original material only for, say, not letting Green Lantern be in his material. Even if fans don't get movies or the conclusion in video, but through comics from his storyboards or Netflix buys or rents the characters. McFarlane is still gonna continue this and push the line of what's in the studios, and the fandom isn't done with the Snyderverse. And I, for one, I'm not finished with it either. Zack Snyder, just like every DC live-action movie and director before it, deserves respect. They all have mine ever since seeing Batman '89 for the first time as a 5-year-old. And my hope is maybe we move the Snyderverse into Elseworlds just like Robert Pattinson's Batman has. Thanks for reading. Zack Snyder's Justice League is getting a new crowdfunding campaign from McFarlane Toys featuring high-detail action figures of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and more in their Snyder. Aquaman was by no means a critical darling upon release, but that didn't stop the film from becoming a major box office hit. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. It grossed over $1.1 billion globally, which caught everyone by surprise, but it came during a time when superhero movies were as popular as they've ever been. Aquaman's Rotten Tomatoes score came to rest at 66%, and its rating on that audience-driven popcorn meter was even higher.